Akayla, tough talk today. This is clearly an important moment. Will it lead to a different U.S. policy?
I think this is the closest thing that we've seen so far from the U.S. when it comes to conditioning, if you will, even though they're not exactly using those words. But they want to see changes from Israel. They want to see a reduction in civilian harm. They want to see an environment where humanitarian workers are be able to work safely. And this was really catalyst from the deaths of those 7 workers from that World Central Kitchen organization. And that is something that the White House admitted openly today. This is definitely the strongest language I've heard from John Kirby. He admitted that has been a frustration with Israel. So there's certainly a shift in policy, and that really was the catalyst of those tragic deaths we saw earlier this week.
Well, and of course, it was just one day after those deaths, Tuesday, when there was a primary in multiple states in which either uncommitted or uninstructed, depending on what state we're talking about, had a sizable protest vote, not voting for Biden because of these policies. And certainly those political pressures factor into this as well.
Yeah, I mean, in Wisconsin, we saw almost 50,000 voters vote for that uninstructed vote. And we have seen similar votes in Michigan and Minnesota. It's been fascinating just because foreign policy is not an issue that typically plays well in electoral politics, but it's become so central for Biden with progressives, for Arab Americans, for Muslim Americans, for young voters, just key blocks of his coalition that he really needs if he wants to win come November.
Well, and we're thinking as well about progressives on Capitol Hill when it comes to the funding debate over Israel, and we can talk about Ukraine separately. There is a call for conditions, and we're hearing this now from some of Joe Biden's closest allies, like Chris Coons. Are we about to rewrite our policy toward Israel when it comes to strings attached to these weapons?
It was interesting today because John Kirby was asked about weapons that are being sent to Israel. And he said these weapons packages have been authorized months, if not years ago. So he says these are not specifically tied to the war in Gaza. But yet you still have progressives saying that they want those halted. That is not something that the White House seems to be ready to do yet. But this language could be the beginning of some of those calls that we're seeing on Capitol Hill to happen.
Well, President Biden certainly has been busy on the phones with other world leaders this week, not just speaking by phone with Prime Minister Netanyahu, but of course, earlier this week, he spoke by phone with Chinese President Xi Jinping. And Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, is in China right now. Are we about to get more visibility into just what exactly the U.S. policy toward China is right now as they're trying to warm up relations while also keep in mind national security and economic competition? Or is this just going to be more of us hearing the same concerns and not much tangible being produced?
I think Yellen being there is definitely them trying to show that they have more communication with China. That has been sort of the baseline that they have wanted for a very long time. But in this election year, they have real concerns that the U.S. has said that they have seen activity from China in terms of election interference online. So that's something that we're certainly being able to see. And also concerns about AI, how China could potentially use it. They believe that there's some middle ground there for them to develop some sort of safeguards on AI, but still a hugely intense relationship, and they're trying to find ways to collaborate here.